What's up? My name is Max Sinclair. I'm here yet again for you with more knowledge in the world of marketing and especially paid ads.
It's great to give something back like that. I'd love to find time to do some volunteer work.
Today we're going to focus on 46 timesing your return on ad spend. So 46x ROAS. This is with Google Ads in particular, and this is a real client that I have right now who has been consistently, for many months now, been achieving an average of 46 times ROAS. This is ridiculous. I'm going to go through a checklist of 8 factors that I think is the reasons behind how they're managing to achieve this, and hopefully you can then try and emulate those results at least halfway. Even if you get half of that, it's ridiculously good. 5 times ROAS is really, really good. So yeah, hopefully this is going to help you. My name is Max Sinclair. I'm the founder of Snowball Creations. We do paid ads for businesses trying to make the world better. So that's why I know about this kind of stuff and talk about it a lot. Before I do jump into this checklist, I do want to make a very clear disclaimer. This sounds so clickbaity, this video, 46 times ROAS, how do we get there? And so I do want to make clear, this is very hard to maintain. Even this client, I doubt that it'll necessarily stay at that 46 times for, the next years to come. And also, ROAS is not always the number one factor. Sometimes it's actually better to accept a lower ROAS, but then you can get more total quantity of those sales. This client is making literally millions in revenue every year from this 46 times. So it's not a small kind of, they're paying £1 on ads and getting £46 back. This is millions of revenue, but ultimately, if they wanted to go even bigger than that, we would likely have to reduce that ROAS. So it's a bit of a disclaimer to start things off. And also, before I do go into the rest of this video, please do hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. This is a young channel and we're currently trying to get past the 100 mark. Whoever, I don't know, if you watch this in the future and we're past 100, then woo, woo, woo. But we're not there yet. So if you could help us with that, I'd really appreciate it. So let's get into it. Number 1, this is something that small businesses struggle with. It is invest seriously. So paid ads, it's a money game. You have to pay to get success on paid advertising altogether. And Google Ads is especially the case there because the cost per click is higher, the buying intent is higher, so you get more of a return, but you have to pay more. And ultimately as well, if you're only going to be spending £500 or £1,000 per month, then you're going to struggle to get enough data through the system to be able to find out what works and what doesn't work and find those hidden gems where there's the best return on ad spend for your business. So this particular company, to give you an example, that's getting this 46 times, they're spending many thousands of pounds every single month, like a substantial budget. And to go into number 2 on my list, on my checklist, it's investing consistently. So not only have they spent many thousands of pounds every single month, they have done it consistently, not just for 2 or 3 months, not consistently for a year. They've done it for now over 5 years altogether. So that is consistency. Real results from any marketing realistically takes a long time to get to, especially these kinds of platforms like Google Ads. And Google specifically actually rewards this. So there's this kind of like magic that kind of comes out of a Google Ads account when it lasts that long. I'm pretty sure there is essentially like a kind of like a loyalty scheme that Google kind of implements within its system, which says this client is not going to cancel. They've been with us now for X 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years. And they do, I think, improve on the results that you get. Your quality scores generally go higher and lots of other factors. So that's my number 2. Number 3, have your search term game just top, like level 100, like the best that it can possibly be. And so if you don't know what search term game is, this is like really one of the most important parts of running a Google Ads campaign, which you should be doing every single week, arguably every day, depending on what your budget is. So this is essentially going into your campaign. If you have a search campaign, for example, and you look at the keywords that you have set, might be, for example, this business, by the way, is in waste management. So we'll use them as an example. You go into the search in a campaign and it's a waste management service in London, for example. But then you go into the search terms and actually people are searching for, how to set up a waste management service in London. And so this is clearly not somebody that's going to be a customer for this particular client, this one that we're talking about in this video, because they're trying to understand how to become a competitor of this particular client. So then in this situation, you'd set that as a negative. Or in other scenarios, you might find actually that there's particular keywords which work really well for you and you've not yet got them set as their own keywords. So that would be a good idea to add those into your campaigns. So this kind of maintenance is extremely important, and it's something that we've done with this client consistently for a very long time now. And it saves you so much of your budget by avoiding bad clicks, and also gives you so much better control over the keywords that do work well because you add them properly into ad groups. You create more specific ads to hit those particular keywords so that when people are searching, they get even more, like they're even more likely to click through. Your click-through rates go higher because you're referencing the particular search that person is going through at that exact moment. So that one is number 3. Number 4. Constantly iterate based on the data. This is a kind of broad one, again, that we've done a lot with this client in this waste management space. So this happens in many different formats, things like ads. So you'll have multiple ads running. You'll have locations all across the country. You'll have times of day. So you need to be constantly iterating, so testing and playing with all of these different factors and trying to find nuances of opportunity where you're like, okay, are we now limited by budget? Okay, well, one of the things that you can do is maybe cut out the times of day, which are like converting at a lower standard than other times. So many different ways you can go with this, so I'm not going to go any deeper with that, but there's lots of other videos that we do, so you can watch some of them, or just get in touch if you want more advice on this kind of stuff. But constantly iterate on the data is really important. And I think this client, they've done a really good job of supporting us with all the information that we need in terms of the lead quality as well, so that when we're iterating on that data, we're really knowing where are those good leads and trying to get more of those for their business. A really, really big one, actually. Number 5, websites actually converting well. So this client, they're in the waste management space. They get a very good conversion rate. And not only that, they've worked with us particularly. We've done projects with them to improve on that even further. So we've created multiple different forms of landing pages. We've A/B tested those as experiments within Google Ads. And we've really done a lot of work into developing it. So they have an exceptional conversion rate now from their website clicks to their traffic, to their conversion, sorry. So ultimately, you know, if a cost per click is £1, you spend £100 to get 100 clicks to your website. If you can convert 1 in 10 of them, like 10%, then obviously the cost that you have for each lead is dramatically less compared to, say, if you only converted 1 in 100. So 1% versus 10%, for example. So that's why it's so crucial to get that right. Oh, hey, have you liked and subscribed yet? I don't know if you... somewhere around there. That's it, yeah. Thanks. And then the next one goes in line with that, number 6. This is from leads to sales. So not just, I'm talking particularly B2B here because this company is B2B that's getting this 46 times, but this is similar to e-commerce. The actual conversion point in your website. So when they book that call, for example, in this situation or a form, what percentage of those leads turn into a sale? So this company, it's genuinely around 50% that they stick with, which is so good. Like if you can get around that 50% mark, this obviously varies a lot across industry, but ultimately if you can get around that, then you're going to have so much more return from your investment. You can get the best ads in the world and tons of leads, hundreds of leads coming into your business. But if you're only converting 1 in every 100 calls, you're never going to make a profit and your return on ad spend is going to be horrendous, essentially. Number 7, product market fit. So this company, this waste management company, firstly, they're not in a sexy industry, which can often be very, very profitable, actually. And secondly, they've just understood this kind of like core truth of their industry, which is that basically the service in this particular industry is horrendous. So they've stepped in and they've massively improved on that. And there's a few other factors which I won't go into for their own sake, but they have really figured themselves out. And whenever these kind of hooks that they have available to them, which we use within their ads, just nail it. The customers hear that and it's music to their ears, and they're just filled with joy, and that's how you get all of the rest of these factors work out well for them. The click-through rate from the ads to the website, the conversion from the website to leads, and the leads to sales. All of that is born from ultimately strong product market fit as well. And the very last one, this is, especially to get that kind of 46 times ROAS like this company has, it's important to have really strong actual business metrics. So high amount of money made from each purchase. So the average order value, you want to have that as high as you possibly can. You know, if you've got a £4 average order value, it's going to be very difficult to get Google Ads work for yourself, and to get to 46 times ROAS, you know, you'd have to get like a cost per click of, I don't even know what the number is there. It's like 5p or something to make that even work technically. And you also have to have a good lifetime value. Lifetime value is so underappreciated. So for us as an agency, as another example, we know that a client lasts a very long time with us because, you know, we deliver good work for them. They're happy with their Google ads or Facebook ads. They're going to stay with us potentially for many years, like this company, for example. And so in that scenario, it's the same for many other businesses in some format. Even e-commerce, you're going to have at least kind of say 1.2 times repeat purchase. So say every, I don't know, 1 in 10 customers come back and make a second purchase. So you know actually that if you make a sale for £50, you're actually making say £55 really, because 1 in 10 of those people are going to come back, buy another £50 item, and that's going to add that extra fiver on top of your kind of revenue you create from each sale that comes in. So lifetime value, understand what that is for your business. Essentially, it's how many months or how many purchases that they're going to have all together from the point of discovering and purchasing with you in the first place. And then understand that and try and improve on it. Try and make it longer and bigger and better. So these are all of them. I think I gave you 8 there. So there's invest seriously, be consistent with that. Make sure your search term game is strong. What else do we have? Constantly iterate on the data. We had make sure the website works. Make sure not just the website, but the actual conversion into sale works. Make sure you've really got product market fit. The hooks that you're using in your copy really resonate with your customers, and you're just delivering a good service and you're actually, you know, giving on that. And lastly, have great margins, understand your margins, have great lifetime value, really like take advantage of lifetime value to try and get as much money out of your customers as possible with either repeat purchases or just a recurring business model. Hopefully these help. As I said, this is obviously a very clickbaity title for a video because 46 times ROAS is a bit ridiculously big, and even we know that this is not going to last that long necessarily with this client, and it's not always right to last that long because you might want to focus on other things like volume, for example, like I mentioned. But ultimately, it's still an amazing result. So you should like aim for this, aim big. Maybe you're at 1 times ROAS right now and you're struggling and losing money, or 2 times and you're just about maybe okay. Maybe this is going to push you that a little bit further to focus on even just 1 or 2 of these checklists that's maybe your weakest. Which would you say is your weakest out of this list? I'd actually be quite interested to hear in the comments. Do comment below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this. Please do subscribe. I really appreciate it when people do that for us. And there is a few other videos that you might like. There's one about Google Ads, especially about how much money you need to start with Google Ads, which might be helpful. And otherwise, I hope it's helped. Thank you again, and I will see you next week.